Access to Work is a government scheme that helps people with working with ADHD. So what they do is they fund specialist support, so things like ADHD coaching. They also fund equipment, and that means things like noise cancelling headphones, software like Grammarly, things like note-taking software. So all of my meetings are transcribed by AI software so that you don't need to rely on my memory to understand what's happened in coaching. And it also means that you get notes from your coaching. Basically, whatever you need with ADHD that is harder for you because of ADHD, then that is the kind of thing that the government can fund. So, for example, for me, diary management is a real challenge. I genuinely just can't block the blocks together. So, I have hours with a virtual assistant called Alice, and she helps me to manage my diary. So, that's an example of how basically, because something is harder for someone with ADHD, then Access to Work funds support to close that gap. So another example would be Grammarly. So if your attention to detail is poor, then Grammarly would help you with proofreading. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. There's much more detail in a Google Doc, which I've linked below. And yeah, it is a scheme where less than 1% of people who are eligible for it apply. You can apply for it if you're self-employed or if you're employed. You will need to tell your employer that you are applying for Access to Work, but it means that you get access to coaching and hours of support with support workers, so someone like a virtual assistant. But yeah, the main thing is don't overthink the form. Get the form in and apply for it. And then, yeah, you wait about 3 or 4 months and then you'll be assessed. So if you don't know what support that you need or what will help you, then they will give you an assessment. So they'll give you some suggestions. But yeah, it's a really great scheme and I would encourage you to apply for it. You don't need a formal diagnosis to apply. So a lot of people who I coach are kind of on the wait list for a diagnosis and things like that, or are self-diagnosed. So yeah, basically get your applications in and then you can get support. Yeah, if you've got any questions, drop me an email because I'm very well versed with the process.